I'm not even sure if you're going to be able to get me live. Quantus fucking stinks. We're going to Melbourne, and so my flight is 2 hours late to New York to LA. And they tell us that the flight's not going to wait for us. So we land in time, we make it. We actually make it 15 minutes before the scheduled departure. And it's one of those things where I go to the gate and they just, no, plane's locked out. The plane's locked out. All this fake, polite shit. Hey, good day, mate. Welcome, mate. Shit. So they're literally the worst. So now I'm flying to Sydney. And then from Sydney, I'm going to go to Melbourne. Look, I know this stuff happens. And if we were an hour late, okay. But the guy at the station is like, no, I've already weighed. He's got the weight calculated, like 138 pounds. Svelte little me. I could see me in 2005 being a concern. Like, look, kid, you're a fatso. But they're the worst. Literally the worst. And so my manager's on that plane. We land, and he talks to them, and he goes, they said they're going to hold the flight. So they say they're going to hold the flight. I run over there, and the station manager is like, oh, they were wrong. They're not going to hold it. They're just the worst people. And I know everybody bitches about the airlines. We all complain about them. They have 10 million people to ship around. People suck. I get it. I didn't expect them to. But literally, the plane is still there. It's now 10:22. So, all this fake, hey, welcome aboard, mate. Can I get you something? Can we get you something? No. Just wait for me. Just wait. Maybe they just hate Chip. You know what? That's probably. But I was looking forward to talking to my manager and annoying him for 15 hours. It's not like this is a flight to Pittsburgh or even a flight to LA. This is a 15-hour flight that I'm now going to have to take with somebody who I don't know. Which, again, white people problems. I get it. First world problem. You know. But it's just irritating.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I think you're 16A and B.
Oh, I'm 16E, and I'm in the wrong seat. Good. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't do anything crazy. Okay. 16E. Good. I was in the wrong seat. I think. Is it 16E? I don't even know where I'm sitting now. Okay. So 16E. Sorry about that. I don't even know where my seat is. E. Okay, here I am. But it's. I think I'm angrier than I've ever been at an airline, because they could have done something they just didn't want to. It's computerized. Don't tell me that you can. Well, we locked it out. Shut up. Order resume. Channel Kirk Cinnamon. You know, the anger. I'm trying not to be as angry because it's stupid and it's not productive and it's not helpful. But they wouldn't move him to this flight or let me on that plane. So they're awful, and just that whole fake courtesy thing that they give you. See, that to me is what airlines should do. It's like, you know what's courteous? How about when someone makes the flight, you let them on the flight? That's what courteous. You know, that whole, don't thank me for flying your airline when you land. That's not courtesy. That's annoying. Don't smack me with announcements when I'm taking off. Now I'm doing a hack bit from the 80s. And make the peanuts bigger. But it's really, really frustrating. And, U.S. Customs stopped me walking on the plane. I was just shitty to them. You know, just a random check. I guess I look cranky. They're like, do you have more than $10,000 in your... No, I don't. Ugh. Qantas stinks. And there's no Wi-Fi on this plane, by the way. So when we take off, I won't be talking to you for 15 hours. I probably should have shaved before I went live. Who doesn't have Wi-Fi in 2016? I'm just cranky at this point. I know that it's late in New York and wherever else I am. You are a hack bit. It's not very nice, Joe. Not a hack bit. I'm a good boy. But I did get fucked on this one. Look. Well, we put you on the Sydney flight. The plane is there. And the door was still open. It's like you turn into, when you argue with airline people, you turn into a child. You really, but the door, but the man is there. You turn into a 6-year-old. I literally said, but the guy said, what guy? I don't even know who he is. I'm literally trying to get the airline to let me on because Jonathan Branstein said something. So I'm really annoyed. It's going to be an annoying situation because now when I land, they don't even know if they have me on the earlier flight or not. So I may be stuck in Sydney for a few hours in the airport. I mean, they're just horrible. So I always complain about United. They do stink. American's the only one I've had good luck with. This airline sucks. And it was avoidable. It was avoidable. Just that big fat guy in his vest. Ugh. You're never getting anywhere with a guy over 300 pounds in an orange vest. That should be a rule to everyone. You know, if you have to argue airline policy with someone and they're over 300 pounds and they're dressed like they should be standing outside guiding traffic, they're never going to help you. I hated that guy, even though I don't even know if it was his fault. He's saying he got the order from Sydney or whatever. Tell them about it. That doesn't help me, sir. The airline people don't give a shit. And I know that there's unreasonable passengers, and maybe I'm being one. But I don't know. When the plane is sitting there and I'm booked on it and they won't let me on, and it's before, it wasn't like I was late. It was 15 minutes before it was supposed to take off. And they locked out the flight. Disgusting. They're a terrible airline. All right, I'm babbling. I hope the gigs in Australia are good, but I literally just want to, I was tempted just to get back on a plane and go back to New York. But I can't because I don't have to pay the airfare. So I'm going to Australia. So see you there. But I don't think I clarified my situation enough because people were like, you fucking whining. I wasn't late to the airport. I was on a Qantas flight connecting through LA, and they were telling us what did they say? The connections are being held because we were an hour late leaving New York. So they told us the connections were being held. And then as we get closer, the captain goes, well, Melbourne's not going to be holding the connections. So they tell us they're not going to hold the connections. And because there's no Wi-Fi, look, I love Louis' bit. It's brilliant. But just because you're in a chair in the sky doesn't mean that the airlines are never cunts. So Wi-Fi would have helped because then I could have communicated and tried to get something. But now they're just like, well, talk when you get on the ground, fucko. So it turns out we landed sooner than they thought. So I wasn't even late for the next flight. We were actually 20 minutes early. And anyone that's ever flown, and I'm sure that's most of you, you know, you've seen people come in last minute all the time on a connection. I was 15 minutes early on a Qantas flight, connecting to a Qantas flight, and this fat fuck is like, no, we're not opening the door. Like the jetway, the plane door's still open. He would open. So that's what it was all about. This wasn't me being a whinging cunt. You know, there was no marmalade with my croissant. You know, this wasn't me. You know, my breakfast was warm. Oh, that'd be good. Cold. I'm tired. So it was, you know, look, it took me 30 hours door to door. That's a long time. That's a full day plus 6. But I'm happy to be here. I have a lovely view here in, Melbourne. And I love how people tell me I'm being whiny. And they're like, dude, the airline's got a schedule. I know that, but I didn't fuck up. They did. All of a sudden, everyone's magnanimous with the fucking airlines. They treat everyone like shit. I get that they have a job to do, and I get there's a billion people traveling. Most of us are twats. I do understand that. But, you know, they're fucking so OCD. Like, if you're like, I don't agree with that, they're like, you're a risk to fly. And people who are like, you're lucky to be traveling to make people laugh. Well, yes, of course. But that doesn't mean that you can't, like, some guy is like, all you do is complain about stuff. I complain about stuff that's shitty. Like, I rented a car that looked like a murder had been committed in the front seat. All I want when I rent a car, just make sure the fucking thing works and you've attempted to clean it. Is that too much to ask? You know, I like people go like, well, celebrities on plane. First of all, I'm not a celebrity, as people accurately point out. But just this is not a case of Russell Crowe wanting to bring a boogie board on. This was the airline. They fucked up, and they were shitty about it. So, whatever. So I just wanted to clarify that. I don't know if I made that clear before, that I was actually on a Qantas connection. It wasn't like I just waltzed into the fucking airport. You know what I mean? What do you mean the flight's closed, man? You know, they're the ones who, they fucked up. They were late. So whatever. Now I'm like fucking Lenny Bruce just reading court papers on stage. And technically the airline promised to get me there on time. Shut up, Jim. We heard you. All right.